Good morning, everybody. It's Vicchi Oleski, founder of Sonoma County Healing Academy, and I'm here with our astrologer, Sibyl Starr.
Hello, everyone.
We're here, it's the fifth day of January 2018, and we invited Sibyl back in to talk about the current astrology and then also the astrology for 2018. So, how would you like to begin?
Well, I would like to begin talking an overview of the year. I feel like it's very important to have a sense of kind of what's coming down the pike and the big picture. And so the most important thing there's several important things, but whenever I'm doing a reading for someone, one of the first things I always look at is the planet Saturn. Saturn is a great timer of what is happening in the world, what our challenges are, what is happening in our lives. And because Saturn is the planet that makes everything real, Saturn rules the material world.
So when you're saying makes everything real, you mean I'm hearing more practical.
More practical, and it's the planet of manifestation.
Okay.
It's manifestation.
Gotcha.
It's what are we manifesting in our lives and in our world.
Thank you.
Because Saturn rules our 3D reality. There's many other realities, but Saturn is the ruler of the 3D reality. So what is happening here right now?
One of the things that I'm loving about your class and the classes that you've been bringing in here at the Healing Academy is that you make the esoteric really practical. And that's one of the things that we really want to continue to improve upon. There's so much going on that we have to have it be here so people can actually relate to it.
Exactly. So Saturn has moved into its own sign of Capricorn, which makes it really strong.
Okay.
And Saturn is, it's the energy of the very practical, very realistic, but it's also hard work. It is the energy of just do it. Yes, there is so much spiritual and esoteric information, and we're all working with all of this and moving and changing, but Saturn says, okay, now make it real. You've been doing all this work, but now it's really time to decide what you want to do in your world and in your life and make it real. And Saturn shows us how to do that. It asks questions like, are you being true to yourself? Are you in alignment with integrity and with your inner truth? Okay.
Right.
And
it's a big one.
It's a big one. And
It's
so
a lot of, in this world, our society, cultures, a lot of pulls to maybe move us off of that.
exactly.
Yeah.
Saturn is about focus, and it's about limitation. And so if we're scattered, kind of all over the place, Saturn's going to say, what is really the most important thing? What do you really need to work on? Where do you need to focus your energy? And if there's any place in your life where you're out of alignment with this inner truth, with your own integrity, Saturn's going to show you.
Gotcha.
And it's going to, but it's also going to show you how to come back into alignment.
Oh,
It's
all
going
right.
to show. It's very practical. It's not personal. Okay.
Yeah. Make a note on that one. It's not personal.
Yeah, it's like if you don't pay your gas bill, your gas gets turned off.
Yeah.
The gas company doesn't have something against you. So, and then Saturn is going to be in its own sign for the next 2.5 to 3 years. So it's a big energy. It's like everyone on the planet is having a Saturn transit. It's about accountability. It's just simply about doing the hard work, owning your stuff, and so everybody. It's like the the old grandma or grandpa that that was strict. It was like the strict grandparent.
Oh, okay.
Loves you, but really wants you to get your act together and be the best person that you can be.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
Because we all have someone in our lives that hopefully are doing that for us.
Yes, yes. And Saturn, like I said, is the planet of manifestation and makes everything real. And another big event that is happening is the planet Uranus is moving into the sign of Taurus. And Uranus is that very esoteric energy. It's the part of us that is connected to the divine mind, the morphogenic field. So it's the planet that brings in information of how to move forward.
So to just chunk this down a little bit, morphic field would be, I understand what it is, but for our viewers, that may, in the terms of astrology, mean that you're sensing and feeling something, a pull, but it's not visible. It's more of an internal
Right.
movement.
It's the way I use the word, it's the invisible web of all of the ideas of the universe. We call it
Gotcha.
the mind of God.
Oh, okay.
And so it's active now in the sign of Taurus, which is the earth. So it feels like the way forward, the way we're being showed to go forward is these great new ideas coming in around food. Taurus is related to food production. It's related to money and our economic system. It's related to prosperity consciousness. It's related to the body.
Wow.
So with this energy coming in, but the other thing is that it's also very disruptive because it's saying we need a change. We need a change. We need freedom from the old ways that have basically been enslaving us. And so it feels like there's many new ideas coming around new economic models, but also a disruption in the economic system, as well as food. But I think the overarching picture of Uranus and Saturn, because they are in what's called a trine for much of the year,
Wow.
which is an easy flow of energy.
You can feel the energy. Well, I can feel the energy of what you're talking about with Saturn exalted in Capricorn, and then Uranus in Taurus. You can feel how they can actually support each other.
Absolutely, they
Yeah.
can support each other. It's how to bring into manifestation these new ideas because, they say necessity, or what is it? Necessity is the mother of invention. And it's adaptability, change, we're changing weather. Uranus rules weather.
Wow.
And, changing weather patterns, this isn't going to change. And so how do we adapt our lives to the new way of the weather patterns? And Saturn is that piece that really grounds us and shows us the way forward. The ideas are coming in, but Saturn actually helps us manifest them, make them real.
I want to slow us down a little bit here because when you speak about how, in my private practice, a lot of people ask me, well, how do I do that? And I want to remind people we're at a new edge that is literally in front of us. It's by taking that action. It's by understanding maybe our fear a little bit more.
Right.
And that's the how. It's to slow ourselves down and to begin to understand that we're in a new place, and that's scary.
It is scary. And Saturn does show us our limitations, and it does have a tendency to bring up fear. But it's fear so that we can confront it and move through it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the big
And
how.
the way I'm seeing it is the cosmic laws of abundance, prosperity, and love are flowing into us right now. And Saturn is the manifestation piece. So it's like conscious co-creation of a changing world. And Saturn is also the piece of staying firm, having inner strength as these changes are happening.
Which feels a little bit like Taurus.
Yes, they're both, right? Taurus is about staying
And
calm,
the goat.
right?
So it's, that whole image of a goat and knowing that it can leap
Yes.
and only have a very, a side of a mountain.
Yeah.
So it's like,
you can see them hanging off the
Yeah.
edge of a cliff.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not scared.
yeah.
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 Yeah. And the other piece I think that is really important is Saturn rules the structures in our lives and boundaries. Okay. And so it is about firming up all the structures that we have. Any place where there's deferred maintenance, things that we have not been taking care of, they're coming due right now. Such as our bodies, our homes, our work, any place. It's going to show us where the weakness in the structures in our lives, relationship, where we have created, because this cosmic energy from Uranus is coming in really strong. And one of the main places it's coming into is our bodies. I feel like there are, because Uranus rules the energy systems in our bodies, that there is big body wisdom information coming through and an acceleration of those energy systems being activated.
Yeah.
And so, but it's like our body needs to be strong as we can make it.
It's so exciting. I'm sitting here going, wow, because that's again the how. We to quiet ourselves, even in a mix of challenging situations, chaos, or stress, to feel that tug at maybe something that's not being attended to slow down and go, wait a minute here. I cannot move forward until I feel strong enough, or I cannot get there until I stop and get some gas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. If something shows up that needs to be dealt with, deal with it.
Yeah.
Because it's showing up, because it's showing you where there is a weakness in whatever system it's showing up in, and that it needs to be dealt with.
Yeah, it's that practical.
It's that practical. And it's just like when you need gas, you need to stop and get it, or you're going to run out of gas.
Right.
And that's a very good metaphor.
Yeah, good. Yay.
Yeah.
Hey, anything else from, we're here January 4th, and we're just looking down the road a little bit. So we have Saturn in Capricorn for 2.5 years. We've got Uranus.
It's coming in. Uranus does not come into play until May, so I kind of jumped ahead.
Okay.
But in January, we've got some big things. There's the new moon, which falls, I think on the 18th. And it's got 5 planets in Capricorn. So this is,
Wow.
and so it's big around accountability. And it's that piece of that tough love, that sometimes we need to have. And it's karma coming due. This is a Saturn in Capricorn, is karma coming due for everyone. And karma's not always bad. I mean, if you've been working hard, it's good karma, there's rewards. But it's also, where are you out of alignment? So that you just simply to come back into alignment. And so that's a big event. And at the end of the month, there's this lunar eclipse, but it's on the 31st, so we'll be speaking before then.
Okay.
But the eclipse season is coming in, and it's also big. Jupiter is in Scorpio. It's going to be there for a year, and it has a lot to do with making the unconscious conscious, especially around issues of how much do I believe in myself and how am I sabotaging myself. Because half of doing anything is believing you can, and that's what's really up right now, is as we are manifesting and co-creating with the universe, the ways in which we self-sabotage around believing in ourselves is up to bring into consciousness, so that we can work through that and release
That's
it.
a big piece.
Mhm.
That's a huge piece, I think, for people. I know it is for myself.